Okay, is this thing on? I think it's on. It should be on, as always. I would know because I'm the one who knows how to work this stuff. Not every time though. Alright, so yeah, I did the character tier list for Sly Cooper, and if you watched that one that I most likely have uploaded before this one, I said that I wanted to do this tier list within that video as well, but it is just way too long, so yeah, even I wouldn't want to just watch that or even listen to that. That'd just be too long and probably a little bit too confusing, just doing two different tier lists within the same video. Not really my thing, and my friend even said that it would be better to just make them into two separate videos. So with this time, we have episodes. We are ranking the episodes. We have them all in order here, you know, from the first game, second game, third, and fourth game. Unfortunately, we don't have Bentley's hack pack, so we'll just have to do what we can with what we have, and what we have in my hand, or the mouse I should say, is that of the very first episode, that being Tide of Terror from Thievius Raccoonus, and it's a good one. I probably also should have mentioned before I, plop that into B tiers, how am I going to determine, like, oh, what is good, what's great, what's okay, what's terrible, all that stuff. I guess to really like put in very simple terms, just like how fun it is, the jobs, the missions, the levels themselves, I suppose the enemies, like even the major enemy, of course, so like the character that's held within there, like Raleigh. Like Raleigh's okay. Like in my tier list, I put him in I put him in okay actually. So, this fits. It's good and everything. I think the only thing that keeps Tide of Terror from like being in great, it's definitely not amazing, but in great at least, is when it comes to the time trials, so the Master Thief sprints. Honestly, not a fan of them. I'm really not. I'm just not a fan of the Master Thief sprints in general, but like in Tide of Terror, like I genuinely think, say get good all you want, but man, I must be a bitch for sure, because those are like some of the hardest ones for me. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because, like, every time I do them, I'm just getting off of the heels of not doing them for a while, and when you get back into the groove of it, I find it to be difficult. Like, I know for the first level, it's kind of a pain in the ass, but, Tide of Terror is okay. So the next one, we got Sunset Snake Eyes. So Mugshot's level, it's also just good. Would I put it above it? No, actually, no, I would not, because it's definitely got a bit of that difficulty spike for sure, because I don't know if it's true or not, or if it's just this long spread rumor essentially that Mugshot's level was supposed to be like the fourth one that you actually go to. That's why it's a little bit more difficult than what it is, and that's why like Mugshot as a boss is, he can kick your ass if you don't know what you're doing. Like, those bullets are fast and they hurt, and in comparison of what's in the original game, which is Fire in the Sky, the Panda King and that whole China level is pretty piss easy. Like, it's honestly really easy, which is why it's supposed to be the fourth, or the first one actually. But Sunset Snake Eyes, I like it. I like Mesa City. I like the casinos that we go into. Some of the missions, like Murray's driving, no thank you. The turret section is okay, but we get to be chased by Carmelita, that's fun, and then like Mugshot himself as like a villain, it's not too bad, and then we get access to the Ninja Spire jump, our first time where we really get to fully experience of jumping and pressing the circle button. But Mesa City, or Sunset Snake Eyes I should say, is not too bad. Then we have Vicious Voodoo. It's just okay. Like, if I were to like really sit down to play all of Thievius Raccoonus, I would probably like roll my eyes or not be fully invested into playing Vicious Voodoo. I usually like take a break right around here. Like, I actually turn off the console and come back a day or two. Then I'm thinking, okay, let's just get this over with. So that should probably tell you how I feel about this episode as a whole. It's got that creepy environment and it fits it very well. The only other thing I could say is that, the enemies in there, man, they started becoming a pain in the ass for sure. I think these are like, I find these enemies to be such a bitch to fight. They are not fun at all. Not like it's supposed to be, not like combat's the main thing within the game, but I mean, you have Murray or whatever. But that one enemy that takes like 3 hits to actually defeat or kill, oh yeah, no, not fun. It's just such a gamble fighting that thing. I've never liked it. And then like Miss Ruby's boss fight, I can either get it within one go or I want to like punch my screen. So yeah, and it doesn't help within the HD collection as well, where again, whatever numbnut thought the smart idea was to take the music out of a rhythm-based boss fight, it should have been slapped 5 times, dealing 4 damage each blow. But it's just okay. Now the 4th episode, Fire in the Sky, is pretty good actually, especially coming off of the heels of Vicious Voodoo and then going into the Panda King's territory, his turf. Oh yeah, I like it. It's real fun. The China environment's really good with the snowy atmosphere it's got to it. And as much as I hate saying this term because it's practically a meme by this point, it definitely gives you the feeling and presence of a thief. There, I said it. So, yeah, Fire in the Sky is good. The Panda King himself is just a good, very good antagonist to Sly, because, you know, Sly he stopped taking it a little bit personally. You know, he just wasn't there to get back his pages of the Thievius Raccoonus and Bounce. He was just like, oh, wait, no, you're an actual, like, criminal. You're a guy who actually causes, like, harm to other innocent people. That ain't good. No, thank you. I gotta stop you now. So, yeah, Fire in the Sky is good. And then we have the last episode, A Cold Heart of Hate. Well, it ain't amazing, that's for sure. I'll have to put it behind Fire in the Sky. It's great, but it's absolutely not my, like, favorite last level of, this series. I can definitely say that. It's good. It's basically just nothing but, I don't want to say, like, it's all a mini-game gauntlet, but that's what a good portion of it is, especially things like you really haven't done before. But, like, I mean, you've done the turd before, you've driven as Murray, you haven't played as Carmelita before, but, like, actually, yeah, no, now that I think about it, it's like the turd sections with Murray, but, you know, now you're helping Sly, and then you're still not necessarily being a thief, but you're still just being as agile as you can with Sly and trying to make sure you don't get one-shotted by, like, lasers, darts, and, like, whatever else Clockwork has within his death chamber. And then you finally face off against Clockwork. Oh, yeah, that's a good moment. Like, that really makes up for it and everything. I like that. Clockwork is definitely a worthy final boss within the game. He serves it right. But that's all of the first game's episodes, so now we're going into the chunky zone of the second game in the Black Chateau. I think that's how you pronounce it. Ooh, I'll have to say that it's going to be our first S tier. It is a really good episode. I was going to put it in A, but then I remembered, oh yeah, that's right, Dimitri's in this. So it's an automatic S, of course. Like, it's a really good episode. I think it starts off, like, a little bit slow in terms of, like, just what you can do in the game. Like, you know, you can't really play as Bentley or Murray too much in that episode. I know some people, like, are just like, oh, I don't really care for playing them. I like playing them. If they're there, I wouldn't mind or anything, but you can't really do that for a bit. And the missions are, you know, they're rather slow. They don't ask you to do too much, and the episode itself is basically just one big tutorial level of just like, okay, here's what we do. Pictures, recon, you know, beat some people up, steal some stuff, bomb that, punch that, all that stuff, and that's pretty much how the rest of the game is going to go. And Black Chateau does a pretty nice job easing you into that. And then Operation Thunderbeak, yeah, that's what it's called, where you drop the like Dimitri's sign essentially right into the water tower. That's a really good thing. I like that. It was a good operation, one that didn't like fall apart at the seams, you know, unlike Dimitri's, you know, nightclub. Anyway, it's a good episode. A starry-eyed encounter. Actually, no, it's pretty great. I was gonna put in good, but it's actually pretty great now that I'm thinking about it. It's got some really good, fun missions. I like, you know, you get to go to India and everything, get to deal with some good people there. I like the ballroom scenes. That really does feel like it's just something out of like a movie, because that's definitely what they were going for when it came to these games like I hate using this word, but like feeling in presence of a thief and everything. Like you're actually on your mission of just really trying to just slip under people's noses and just try and being a badass and steal something right from the public's eyes. And I don't know how they do it, but they steal those giant ass wings right in the middle of the ballroom and they get away with it. It's a good episode. I like it. The missions are fun and everything. I don't think there's really a mission that I dislike within this episode. Not really one that I can think of, but yeah, other than that, it's pretty good. I like it, actually. And then we have the next episode, Predator Awakes. I'll put it in good. Like, at the end of good. I don't want to say it's like, it's okay. No, damn, this is actually kind of tough. Because there's some missions in there that... Well, yeah, no, it's good. It's just a little bit above okay. It's fine for what it does. I was gonna say, like, are there any missions that I dislike? Not necessarily, no. Not ones where I'm just like, okay, time to stop playing the game now. I hate this. The only thing that's, like, really a big con to this episode is just, man, the hub world sucks when you're playing as Bentley or Murray. That's one thing that I definitely can say that Sly 2 really should have fixed is how much like verticality it has, and it's pretty much only in favor of Sly. Granted, yeah, like you pretty much only go to these places and you can only do them as Sly. That's why they were made. Like getting the spice plants that are grown up very high within the trees. Like literally only Sly could do that, so it's fine and everything, I suppose. But you know, when you're just trying to going around probably like getting clue bottles and stuff and everything, you can pretty much only do it as Sly. Like that's what I kind of don't like. It's only in favor of just one of the 3 characters that you play. Even if you can like just do everything, it's too much in favor of him. So yeah, but everything else it's fine. The operation, Wet Tiger, that's fun. Bentley, I like the comment that Sly makes when you're starting to play as Bentley more. It's just like, oh yeah, you're getting used to being out in the field. That's a good thing, because within the next episode, that's what Bentley's gonna have to really do, and we get into Jailbreak. It's great. It's a really great episode. Granted, it's weird because it's a little bit conflicted for me, because one, I think the hub world of Prague is okay. I think it's fine. It definitely has like that creepy aspect. It's got that creepy aspect that I like more, say, than when you were in Haiti in the first episode for Vicious Voodoo. I like this one more. It definitely feels like anything can pop out at you at any time, and you just don't know what to do. And then they have trains. Like, that train can one-shot you. Like, that's evil in and of itself. But, yeah, Jailbreak, gameplay-wise, is fine, especially when it comes to the missions. Like, some of them are pretty fun. I think some of them actually kind of, like, overstay their welcome a little bit, like with Code Capture. That one's and then Lightning Action? That one's okay, but it is funny because it serves the fact that Bentley was right about the fact that the Contessa just happens to have a giant attack robot that just looks like a water tower, and we just go with it, but he was right all along. Like, I'm surprised that never got expanded upon even more. But, I like it. It's fine gameplay-wise, but then story-wise, it's really great because it focuses on Bentley and just, like, the gang itself of just, like, okay, you've known them for quite some time, now let's see what happens when, like, they're separated and stuff. And, like, when they're in actual, genuine danger, and the worst has come to worst, where it's just, like, you're a thief and criminal, and now you're officially behind bars, essentially. Like, what do you do now? And that's where Bentley comes in. So, Jailbreak is a great episode. I like it. And then we have the Contessa's 2-part, or like second part episode, A Tangled Web. I actually like this episode a lot. I really like it. I already like the Contessa, so that's one. I find her to be a very cool villain antagonist to the Cooper game, because she kind of she talks her shit sometimes. Like, she really has no problem like killing people or just hypnotizing them, fucking with them, doesn't matter. She doesn't give a shit because she truly does think that she's better. I love that speech that she gives, where she just genuinely thinks that, oh yeah, I'm above all of that. I'm above good and evil. I'm above morality. That's a good quote. I like that. It's just so funny to me. Gameplay wise, granted, it's not as bad when it comes to like the Predator Awakes, when it's like, oh wow, there's just so many high places that are just only exclusive for Sly. No, you can easily access them as Bentley or Murray, and that's completely fine, and I like that because instead of just being all of just like rail slides everywhere or just like climbing options that the other two can't do in the first place, you know, they're actual ramps and stairs to these places and everything because of all the high towers and stuff. So that's good. And then the Operation High Road is just so fun because that's really when everything just starts. Everything is happening at once. It's just so chaotic and it's just so fun. The Sly is just fighting against the Contessa on like the highest point in all of Prague, or like wherever they are. Neela is like running away but then gets like stuck and like somehow like lives from like falling off of a high tower. Bentley gets captured in the blimp. Murray saves him. It's just so crazy. I love it. It's a fun episode. I like it. But moving on, we go to Canada, and then we have episode 6, He Who Tames the Iron Horse. Wait, yeah, that's what it's actually called. It's a good episode. Like, it's super duper ultra mega ultra instinct fine. Like, it's just completely fine. I don't want to say it's like it's great because Canada itself, like at least in this part, in this episode, I think the environment's fine because they're just kind of like in a random Canadian town, and then that's just about it. The missions, they're also just fine. The train, like when you're actually hopping aboard the train, that's pretty fun actually. I like them. It definitely serves to be a better and different environment instead of just like going into a room or like an underground place or something like that. Like no, you're actually going on a moving vehicle this time and everything. That's the room instead of it just being just one deep place. It's one long just hallway essentially that you have to get through, and I like that. And you can do what's fun about those missions is that when you do them as Sly and Bentley, you can go about them any way. Like as long as you just get to point A to point B, you can do whatever you want, however you want, and I really like that. I like that freedom when it comes to gameplay. And then I guess story-wise, it's also just fine, especially when it ties into the operations. The fact that, you know, surprisingly, not too much crazy events went down within this. Like they actually get all of the clockwork parts pretty easily. Like the only one who gave him any trouble was Neela, but other than that, Bentley's RC copter took care of her. So it's just like, okay, that happened, and then they just went about their way. It's a pretty good operation that didn't, of course, go off the rails. But yeah, good episode. And then we have Menace of the North. What do we do with you? Again, I'm trying to think, like, are there any missions that I hate? Not really, but I'm still just gonna put it in good. High good, very good. It's a very good episode, a little bit better than episode 6. It basically just continues off from, you know, Jean Bisson's story. He's still got like clockwork pieces. Like, I don't know how this dude, besides like Arpeggio of course, how this dude managed with like the most parts is just so crazy. Like he ended up with 4 to 5 of them somehow. That's fucking ludicrous. But other than that, the episode is just fine. You know, you're still in Canada. You get to see the Northern Lights a little bit. It's got some fun missions. You get to paraglide a Sly, steal an eagle egg. All work together to like drain the Northern Battery. That one's also really good. And then the Canada Games, that operation, it's not too bad. Has a really good theme because I used the Canada Games within like the very first videos that I ever did on my channel. Like when I was covering videos for Thieves in Time. That was fun because I really like that theme. And then, you know, it's really funny that Bentley gets to fight off against Jean Bisson. You wouldn't think that would actually happen, but he does. And then story-wise, they win. They stop Jean Bisson essentially, or like escape, I should say, because they get captured. And then it's just like, oh damn, they get a low blow to their morale and status where they had everything stolen from them. I know some people are just like, why did you take all the clockwork parts with you? And it's just like, why did you have them in the safe house? Why did you always carry them with you? Because that just would have been a higher chance of them getting stolen. Little stupid on their part, but hey, whatever. I mean, it's not like there was much to go after that, because the last one we got here is the last episode, episode 8, and unfortunately, I would just have to put this in okay. It is just an okay episode. I stated in my review that I don't really like the level design. Like, in terms of the hub worlds, I actually don't like this one. You know, Predator Awakes, you know, it's just annoying that, oh, everything you just have to climb on as Sly over and over and over again. It's like, if you want to get to where you want, and like clue bottles, treasures, and even during missions and stuff and everything. But Anatomy for a Disaster, like, it just has such a wonky level design that I actually don't like it. You know, it's just kind of a pain in the ass. Like those, oh god, what do you call them? Those windmills that turn on each side. Holy, like, it's literally a traffic light, essentially. It's a traffic light. It's so bad. You have to just wait there. And if you're not Sly, of course, you have to wait there, wait until, like, it's evened out, then you can walk on it and everything. So stupid. And then, like, the missions are okay. It doesn't really feel like it's a big build-up towards the end. It's just like, okay, we get this massive exposition dump by Arpeggio, who gets murked within record time by Neela, becomes this questionable thing called Clocklaw, still a stupid name, like, I don't know how she thought that was good, and then, like, we don't even really get an operation, we just get a final job, and it's a great value version of what the original final boss was in the first game. Me putting it that way, like, it does sound like I should put it in terrible, but, like, it's just okay. Because story-wise, it's the finale. Gameplay-wise, not the best, but, like, the final bits of it was good. Because, you know, Bentley gets paralyzed for the rest of the series. That affects, like, everything. Sly almost gets arrested, and then Murray, like, this is what starts him going his separate ways as well at the start of the third game. So, it's pretty heavy stuff, but yeah, it wasn't too bad. Wasn't the best, but it wasn't too bad. But speaking of going into the third game, we have an Opera Fear. And man, is this a good fucking episode. This is probably like, I think I could just flat out say that this is probably my favorite episode in the entire series. Of course, I don't speak for everyone, but, like, damn, oh man, I love this episode so much. It just hits everything for me. I love it. I love Venice. You get to see Dimitri again. Weirdly enough, even though you don't get to really play as Murray for the entire episode, it still fits within the story. Playing as Sly and Bentley just feels so much smoother compared to the second game. That's the feeling that I get out of it. And the missions are so fun. They have like a weird take of, like, you know, actually adding commentary to it. Not commentary, but comedy to it and everything. Probably from the fact that, like, this time around, I'm actually starting to notice it. Sly and Bentley are doing a lot more of tag team jobs and missions, to where, like, yeah, sure, you may start it off as Sly, and you're only playing as Sly, but the other person is also right there, right alongside you doing the mission. So, what's it like? The coffee house shops, where you have to disguise yourself as one of the guards, and Sly and Bentley are just, like, constantly talking and just having idle chit-chat after they just, like, complete a portion of the job. Stuff like that is just what makes it better. And then the Operation Tar Be Gone is really good. It's one of those things that just goes all over the place, and it just ends in a very satisfying way with, like, punching Don Octavio. Good stuff. So that may be my favorite episode. Oh yeah, and the music's really good. So that may be my favorite episode. But, unfortunately, it just kind of goes a little down under from Rumble Down Under, and it's a very, very okay episode. Like, I think it's just completely fine. Not terrible, but just fine. The only thing that saves it from, like, being terrible, or just me throwing it in there because I don't care, is Lemon Rage is probably my favorite mission in the whole series. I really like it. You go to a bar, you, like, get wasted on the most manly drink that there possibly could be, lemonade, of course. You get into the biggest throwdown, brawlic hand-to-hand fight with, like, all these, like, dingoes and kangaroos and all this stuff, and you're just switching through the Cooper gang, just knocking them all out left and right. Oh man, that is such a fun mission. I love that. That should have been a multiplayer thing. I would have loved that. That just should have been something in multiplayer. Oh yeah, right. We get the Guru story-wise. We get the Guru, and unfortunately there's practically no villain or antagonist. There's just this malevolent force, and that's the Mask of Dark Earth. But both of those are just okay, leading more of just like whatever, but you know how it is. But Flight of Fancy. This is... Ooh. Is it great? I don't know, actually. Actually, no. I think it's great. Because of, like, all the stuff that you do, and, you know, Bentley saying, like, oh, let's pin the two teams who would just be aiming at us to get us out of the competition against each other. You know, there's a lot more of that devious planning that he's going about, and he even does, like, the same thing when he tries to take care of Mugshot, so he's out of the competition, and get him arrested by Carmelita Fox again. That's some really good stuff. Now that I'm saying that out loud, I like that from Bentley. It's some really fun, devious stuff that he prides himself on, as he said. So, it's a good mission. You get to, use the plane for the first time within this episode. It's not terrible. Like, okay, I shouldn't say it like that. It's fine. Like, it gets the job done. It's pretty fun as well. And I have played the multiplayer with, like, when it comes to, like, the dogfighting with, like, one of my friends in my youth. And it's fine. I like it and everything. That's, like, the one multiplayer one that he really liked playing. I don't know why, but yeah, Flight of Fancy's fun. We get the cute, lovable nerd Penelope. She's super fun. And, I mean, I don't need to say anything about the Black Baron, because, she is the Black Baron, so, yeah, whatever. That's just that. Now, Cold Alliance. Ooh. This is a good episode. This is a really good episode. I like this one. It presents itself as being a little bit different compared to like every other episode by then, because you get like a mid-cut scene out of nowhere. General Sao is just a dastardly bitch motherfucker, and it's so delightful to just see him take his like pettiness and just like how evil or just like how much of a bastard this guy can be to a competitive level. He says like, oh yeah, I'm practically like racist and sexist, but I don't do it on that casual shit. Nah, let's do it competitively. And like, dude, he's in like a guaranteed spot for second or first place. It's kind of crazy. It's weird saying it that way, but that's just how he is. Sao is just such a good villain. He's really like probably my favorite in all of Honor Among Thieves. I love him a lot because, you know, he fucks up in your safe house, somehow like takes selfies and adds them to like Bentley's PowerPoint and slideshow just to flex on them. And then he said like, yeah, I've been waiting for you to come here. And then he had no problem throwing down. So that was really good. And then he rightfully gets arrested by Carmelita Fox, just like every other villain in the series. Well, you know, not every single one of them, because, you know, some just kind of escape or, fucking die. But, yeah, it was a good mission. We get the Panda King again. I liked how he's intertwined in the story again. And even though that we're getting more and more members of the Cooper gang, you think it would be like this cluttered mess gameplay-wise, but they even it out very smoothly, you know. It's not that, like, oh, for an entire mission, you're playing as the Guru. It's just like, no, for like half of a mission, the Guru's helping you. Or like half of a mission, you're playing as Penelope. Or a full mission, you're playing as Penelope. Either or. It's good stuff. And that really applies to like Operation Wedding Crasher is what I'm saying. But then we get, the next one. Dead Man Tells No Tales. Episode 5. I'm gonna be honest, I think it's a good episode. It's a very, very good episode. I don't want to say it's great, but it's good. Some of the missions are fine. Some of them I'm just like, whatever. And that is seriously not even talking about the boat sections of the game. I just find those to be whatever. Like, alright, let's just get this over with. I don't care. And all that stuff. But unfortunately, as much as I love Dimitri, his gameplay is like probably the weakest to me, because it's one of those things where You haven't really done it before, and it definitely feels a little clunky. That's what I don't like about it. It feels a bit stiff. Granted, you only get to play as them twice. Take it as a good or bad thing. I guess you could take it as a good thing now that I said that it's like it's stiff gameplay, but yeah, it's just fine. Lafui is also okay as a villain, you know, who's the big bad, but we really don't get too much out of him because the whole episode was just supposed to be like Dimitri calling in for that favor from Holland of Flight of Fancy, and that was just about it. But it's an okay episode. But then we get Honor Among Thieves. Ooh, wow. Yeah, this is a good episode. This is amazing episode. I really like it. No, I think it's fine. Okay, yeah, no. Okay, here's what I'll do. I'll put it above Opera of Fear because I know it just said it's my favorite episode, but like story-wise, like completely, now that it's taking everything in account and it's essentially being the finale, like the real finale of the series, it's a beautiful send-off. Like, I don't think there could be any other way for the series to end better than Honor Among Thieves. It kind of takes that Cold Heart of Hate kind of like structure when it comes to the levels, instead of just like going out and doing jobs and like getting keys and all that stuff and going to a hub world. Like, no, it's just mission, job, one after another, and it's really putting your skills to the test as like each member of the Cooper gang, except for the Panic gang for whatever reason. I don't know why. And then the final boss is really good, and classic way as always, Carmelita gets in like one of the final hits or helps you out, and then everyone essentially lives happily ever after. As cheesy as that sounds, but it's a good send-off. I like it. So, Honor Among Thieves, perfect episode. So now we're getting into Thieves in Time. Don't worry, we will fill up that D slot. Don't think I just have it there for show. So Turning Japanese is it's just an okay episode. It is just an okay episode. There's not much to complain about. The game just started. Things are fine. You get to play as, like, you know, Sly, Bentley, and Murray just fine. When it comes to, like, the hub world and stuff, it's pretty looking. I like it. The Japan theme is really cool and stuff. But there's really not too much where I can think, like, oh, yeah, that was really kick-ass or super fun. I would love to play that again. The only one that comes to mind is specifically the El Jefe boss fight, but you have to do a lot just to get to that section alone. But other than that, there's really not too much. And I guess speaking of El Jefe, since I brought him up, he's also just an okay villain. You know, he's fine. I love his fire and lightning abilities. I wish that was really used more or really incorporated into his character a lot more. But, like, other than that, I mean, it's fine. It does its stuff fine. Now, Go West Young Raccoon. Yeah, quite frankly, this is actually a great episode. Like, really taking everything into account, it is my favorite episode within all of Thieves in Time. Even though I completely shit on it within my review, and I'm proud of that, essentially. Young Raccoon, Go West, good stuff. I just said all that backwards, so that I guess that just proves I'm illiterate, as always, but it's a really fun episode. Like, the one mission, Cooper for Hire, oh yeah, that is seriously, like, probably the best mission in the whole game. Just Tennessee's section alone is just, like, the best moment in that game. The music, the environment, the feeling, how it's integrated into the story, it's so fucking good, man. I love it. It's a good episode. And even the operation, you know, it's the one mission where you actually steal something from someone, where it's just not like, oh, we just kind of have to fix the timeline, or now we just have to fight against the big baddie, and that's just about it. Like, no, you're literally robbing a train. Like, you can't get more thief than that, man. Like, you really can't. It's perfect. I like it. Clan of the Cave Raccoon. That's what the D tier spot. And actually, so is Mice and Mechs. We're just gonna do like a double kill right there. These two episodes, no man. Specifically for Cave Raccoon, I don't like. I really cannot think of anything that I like about it. And I'm being serious. I can't think of anything where I think, actually, no, that's fine. Nope, not a single thing. Nothing. Villain? No. Environment? No. Music? No. Setting? Story? No and no. I don't like any of it. It's probably the worst that Sly's been, and I just genuinely do not like it. But moving on, Mice and Mechs is only above it because medieval England is not too bad. Like, it's fine. I like the environment. Its themes are really good. Sir Galeth is also fine. Quite frankly, the episode would have been better and just, like, probably placed an okay and good, probably, if we didn't have the very stupid plot twist of Penelope becoming a villain. Seriously, that has to be, like, one of the worst things I've, like, ever seen done to a series whatsoever. So, of Mice and Mechs, not good. Not good. And then the last one, 40 Thieves, is... well, it's just okay. Like, it's just plainly okay. Salim, eh. Miss Decibel, a little bit above, eh. I mean, we get like fully introduced to Cecil of Paradox, but like, you know, I've already said my stuff about him. He's fucking stupid on every account. Like, if the epilogue was on this list here, I mean, I know there's a list where it has that available, but if I were to place the epilogue anywhere from Thieves in Time, yeah, it would also, like, be an okay, if not terrible. Not good. So, yeah, that is pretty much the tier list. We've got, a good old 5 within S. Got, okay, I'm not counting. We got our S tier, we got our A tier, got our B tier, C tier, and D tier. I don't think there's really anything else that I really need to go over, because I've pretty much gone to, like, super depth about all of these before, to some degree, within either this video now, or in my review of them. And that's really about it. That's it. I mean, tier lists are about as simple as you can get. I know it seems a little lazy on my part, but I genuinely am trying to, like, pump out as much content as I can, because you know how it is. Typical YouTubers' excuse of, like, I had school and family and social life, and it's too much time. You know how that crap is and all that stuff. I don't want to present it to your face, but that's the end of the video, essentially. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. You know what to do with all the links that I provide and everything of the sort. Thank you for watching. That's greatly appreciated, of course. Have a great day, have a great night, and everything else, you know what to do. Bye.